rather in that case, and you'd rather not. So it actually makes you more peaceful the better you get. So the harder you can hit, the more people you can beat up, the less people that actually get hurt, because nobody wants to fight when you know what kind of damage you can do and you've got that level of confidence and that level of awareness. So I've been under practice for a while, so my level of awareness isn't as high as it used to be, but the training I underwent is weird. So it actually changed my structure so that I'm no longer, my flinch response is no longer so much as flying into things, and that's like something else I can talk about. So again, for those of you who haven't taken any of Adam Chan's training, you're not going to get that until you actually do it. So that is part of his training regimen, changing your level of awareness. Now, the beauty about Adam's teaching is that he actually gets into the real nitty-gritty of the little things, and the little things that no one else thinks about. So martial versus art. There's the word martial and there's the word art in martial arts. So the martial part, he talks about all sorts of things in terms of discipline and making sure it's regimented. And in terms of martial, I think that's my 10 minutes. So that's my 10-minute timer that's up. I'm going to probably have to continue this into 2 separate videos. So this is probably part 2 by now if you guys are still watching this. So martial versus art, there's going to be 2 completely separate things here. Because I mean, if you think of the word martial is like dealing with war, dealing with fighting, dealing with battle. And then there's art. And how many painters do you know kick ass? Because so it's a whole kind of weird juxtaposition of martial and art. It's almost an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp, right? So martial and art, completely 2 sides of the spectrum. That's something we could talk about forever and ever and ever. So something else is that I saw this really cool quote the other day. So it was learn so that you may teach, and teach so that you may learn. And as I was learning and going along, the funny thing is that I started teaching because it just came natural. As you start getting to the higher levels, you want to share your knowledge with people. You're learning a form, if you're doing a traditional martial arts style, and someone else is learning the form after you, and you see that they're struggling and they need some help. And obviously, because you know this, you want to help them, and you have this inkling to want to reach out there and help them. So the funny thing is, if you teach them, it actually ingrains more in you, because you're actually going through the motions of teaching, which is kind of cool. So learn so that you may teach, teach so that you may learn, and that's another cool thing about martial arts I can talk about forever and ever and ever. Let's go into this free-flowing versus contrived. Again, this is from Adam again. A lot of my stuff comes from Adam. Thank you again, Adam, for teaching me what you've taught me and helping me apply this in real life. So free-flowing versus contrived. I had no idea that everything that I was learning prior to free flow was contrived, and because you don't see the difference, you don't notice how much more relevance free flowing gives you than a contrived. And let me give you an example. Contrived is, I'm going to hit you with this hand at this angle on the count of 3. Do something about it. 1, 2, 3, go. And that's how most places train in the traditional sense of the thing. So when Adam changed that for me, he completely changed it for me. He said, hit me. not hit me like this, here, 1, 2, 3, go. It was hit me. And in doing that, it changed my mind and my my life about everything that I've learned, thinking, holy cow, I'm saving a beat, I'm saving time, learning free-flowing, and my mind started moving faster than when I was doing contrived. Contrived is doing the same thing over and over and over again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. And free-flowing was, let's see what happens. Ready, set, go. And don't die. So free-flowing changes the speed at which your mind can adapt to things. And that's the beauty of the drills that different styles can teach, right? So there are free-flowing drills. Don't get me wrong. There were free-flowing drills in the previous arts and the previous styles that I've learned as well. It's just that focusing on free-flowing versus focusing on contrived makes just night and day difference in your movement and how fast and how quick your mind can be. So that's that. Rule-based restrictions. People don't bow before they punch you in the head, usually in the middle of the street. So in learning traditional put on a gi, put on a belt, there's nothing wrong with that stuff. It's fantastic training and the fantastic regiments that they've got. But it was this weird balance that Adam again taught me about rule-based restrictions. If you have so many rules, some of these rules could actually restrict the amount of learning that you're allowed to do from a realistic fighting standpoint. If all you do is practice the same like canned movement. If so, they attack like this, you do this. If you attack like that, you do this. It's great in terms of having a system and learning, and not being completely stuck as to what to do next. Systems are great, so that way everyone's got the same level of standard, and with those standards, they can have the same levels of increments of gaining quote unquote a rank level or a belt level, and doing that it gives them that extra praise. Hey guys, you're doing it right. You're making progress. Whereas the flip side to the rule-based restrictions are, not every black belt has been created equal, because not every black belt's gone through the same types of training in different styles. So the rule-based restrictions, sometimes rules are bad, sometimes rules are good. There's rules that are good that systemize things and help retain this minimum standard, but as long as you're using the rules for respect and whatnot, as opposed to actually being who you are and what you are, because it's in breaking the rules that you get the art part of the martial arts. So going back to that stuff. Talking more on breaking a board. Breaking a board is a milestone for many people because they've never broken a board in their lives, and it's such a weird significance to them. But, after training and teaching and doing this for years and years and years, it doesn't actually take that much to break a board. It's only 6 pounds of pressure in the right spot to break a board. So I've taught 5-year-olds how to break a board, and they break the same size board as an adult does. So it's not really that hard to break a board, and it's about, again, that mind before body, mind over matter kind of stuff. You show this to an adult, you go break a board, they go, no, I can't because it's a board, right? And you show it to a kid, they go, okay, show me how. And they're open to do this. There's a story about an elephant, and an elephant, as a baby, gets tethered down using a rope and a nail. And in the beginning, it's a baby elephant, so obviously he's stuck, and he can't go anywhere. As the elephant grows bigger and bigger and bigger, though, he's got still the same belief that I can't go anywhere because I'm stuck, because it's nailed to the ground. Where it's a full-grown elephant, the full-grown elephant takes 3 steps and out goes the nail, out goes the rope, and he can roam around freely. So on breaking a board, it's there as again a milestone to teach you follow through, so you don't stop at the board, you have to continue through the board, and that's the same thing you do when you actually do a proper strike. But it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It's great for confidence building, but it's not good because if people keep practicing breaking boards, eventually you start breaking your hand, because 30 boards later, 30 boards stacked deep, you're trying to break these things. There's crazy contests where you start breaking boards, ice blocks, and coconuts and whatnot. So you can break boards forever, but it is just one piece of a milestone that just helps you understand the concept of follow through and don't stop at the target. So there's a lesson in breaking a board. Now, transfer of skills, and this is the reason why I'm talking about this sort of thing. Transferring of skills and transferring of a skill set is taking what you've learned in one discipline and moving it to another place in your life. Now, I'm very thankful for the lessons I learned from, Divine Winds to personal best martial arts to pragmatic martial arts, and taking the transfer of those skills into different parts of my life. Bring different qualities to different parts of my life. So it makes a real difference. Transferring of skills. The funny thing is, some skills transfer well for me, and some skills don't transfer well for me. For example, I can twirl a 6-foot bow